every one of them. What's the real reason? And sometimes things just happen, but they're not, they don't affect one another. So they're not because of that thing, right? So like the thing that Ubi told you, right? And then the thing that the tarot card reader told you, right? Those are not, they're, one didn't cause the other. They're separate things that happened on their own, but they're trying to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've just been studying socionics and Enneagram and all this shit and other stuff, and it's like there's like things that I see that I haven't rationalized, and that's kind of like what you're talking about with the intuition stuff. Is it's like there's things that I'm tracking, but I get sort of off put or I get sort of shook by the fact that I didn't reach that rationally, and I'm like, then how the fuck can I know?
Um, well, like even when you think that you know, you really don't know, or you're blind to something, you know. So like you can't really truly know. You can only really base it on some certain amount of evidence that you is observable.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob, um, I don't think it's just TI. I think I've been doing TI development type stuff for years. That's not really what's catching me off guard. It's that I've been doing TI development stuff this entire time, um, but the like, I guess on occasion the NI stuff is it's like it's powerful enough or it's impactful enough that my TI is like there's a lot of things that I can rationalize, but there's certain points in my life where I'm like, I don't know how to rationalize. I don't know how to make this clean cut.
What are your two main functions?
For INFJ
Yeah.
and INFE.
NINFE. Okay, I see.
Um, but yeah, the sort of Marvel's thing came to me because I was like, that probably the most accurately explains it. I would say that the TI aspect is that I would want to be able to take that image and then condense it into a totem that represented that. That way, sort of quickly in a conversation, I could explain what the fuck's going on.
Oh man, you know what? You know what helps too.
Hmm.
Sometimes like you like you will get that totem, but you have to talk to more people and ask about their own experiences with what you're experiencing, and
Hmm.
then just like do stuff and do things that just like really make you excited, and then the totem will come to you. But it's with time.
I totally agree, and that makes complete sense to me. And I think part of the frustrating thing is like, uh, I mean, it's like a small thing. It's not like a big thing, but it's like a lot of times I try to engage with other people uh, to do exactly what you're talking about. Like I try to engage with other people to talk to them, but then I can get swept up in whatever they're talking about or like whatever. And it's like
And
the
you
thing
just
that I'm like, the more information I get that's not related to that thing
mhm.
sort of pushes me, like the current directs me away from that. And so then I start getting frustrated because I'm like, I'm trying to focus on that thing and really hammer away at it. So a lot of times when you see me come in here and like I'm wanting to talk about the same thing like over and over, it's because I'm trying to return to that to try to crystallize it.
Yeah, you might just need time. It's all I feel like sometimes it's like ego versus soul because your ego really wants like the answer. Your brain is like, no, there needs to be a linear sort of thing. But you have to just like kind of surrender a little bit because like you're not gonna die. You're figuring shit out, just feel it, let it flow.
But I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been there. I've been there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it, honestly. I'm just like, it's more like frustration just because it's kind of like a kid waiting for Christmas.
Hmm.
Like, I know I have fucking presents waiting. Why can't it be Christmas? I'm imagining Jacob in pajamas running downstairs. He's like, I got it. I finally got my Optimus Prime Transformer toy. And I got a bottle of gin. But,
Yeah, INFJs are good at reading souls for sure.
see, that's one of the things I don't really understand. Like, all the psychic shit and whatnot. I'm like, looking around the room, and then I point to myself. I'm like, what, me?
Oh, you feel like you do that sometimes?
No, I'm saying I feel like I don't ever.
But I feel like you do. Maybe that's because I'm projecting. I think you do it naturally. Maybe you're just not aware of it.
I've thought about that too, that maybe I'm like...
And I think you're really empathic. You just don't know it. Like, you've said things, and I'm feeling that way, like, right now. And, like, I think it was, like, yesterday. Or, like, 2 days ago. And you were like, oh, and now she's just going to turn off the camera because it's too much expression. I was just like, yeah, actually, yes.
Yeah, I guess I sort of see it as like the whole...
Oh, but Anna is psychic, so...
Just kind of see it as a thing like, what you call it?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
being in the, like, you can't smell the shit when you're in the sewer, like that sort of thing. It's like, I have wondered in the past if maybe I'm like so immersed in a certain type of thinking that it's like I don't see it as I can't see it. Like it almost seems more interesting to me when I see like somebody who's like ESTP or whatnot, like watching like DJ R&D's videos when he was talking about like his like spiritual insights and whatnot, or like certain people that I've listened to who are interested in spiritual things. They talk in a much different way. Like they'll talk about encountering, like I think DJ R&D, he was talking about like, you know, he saw in his head, you know, like Jesus standing there, and he was like super like tall, and like he was describing certain things like that. But it's like, it seems like some people, when they describe it, it sounds very like almost like they're seeing it, like for real. And something hold on, give me just a second. I think my dog's barking. Yeah. Okay. Come here. But are you there?
I'm here, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. What you call it? Yeah, the like, they'll be talking about the stuff like they see it or whatever, or like it's like really impactful. And I think for me, like, I think my whole life I've just seen that sort of stuff as like just imagination, and like.
But are you okay? And I mean, I did too, right? And like the thing is, like, I've come to, it's, you know, it's weird. I'm gonna tell you, because like I've had those things happen to me where like, okay, so I'm thinking about, like, I'm in the chat, right? And I get the feeling that oh, wouldn't it like I feel like I would say like, oh, I feel like so and so is gonna talk to me, or so and so is gonna message me, right? What? Oh shit.
Wait, what?
Oh no, and like I feel like, oh, I think something like, oh, so and so is gonna message me, or so and so is gonna approach me like right now because like she's here, right? And so like that could be like a worry, like you're worrying, like I'm self-conscious that, oh, I didn't talk to them before, but now because we're both here, they might message me, right? So it could be like, oh, I'm worrying about it, or I'm like imagining it because I feel like that's what I would want. Now, I'm gonna be honest though, like it's different it's weird because you don't, there's almost no distinction in how it comes into your consciousness. The only distinction is the verification that comes right after.
Hmm.
Right. So like that happened to me where I do that and then the person messages me and I'm just like I just felt like you would message me. I
Hmm.
felt like almost like a gravitational pull that you would message me because of this. Or so it comes as a feeling or it's like or I think actually there was someone online in the room and they had just come back and I was thinking like, oh, they probably ate something, and I was in quote unquote imagination land. I was like, oh, they probably ate something. Like I bet it was probably like pancakes that were chocolate chip, and I was just imagining them. And then they said that, and I was like, that's so weird, isn't it? So weird. But that's the verification, and then it's happened again where like so imagination like it's not confirmed, but if it's psychic, it's confirmed like a second afterwards. That's how you know. That's how you can tell.
I would say that if that were the case, then there's probably times that there might have been verification and I didn't know to track it.
Well, I think also like you might be sabotaging yourself by not like, trying at least attempting to look at it from a level of acceptance instead of immediate rejection with logic.
Right. I guess right now
Yeah,
when
right.
I'm saying
Well, I
that
don't
to you,
know. Is that true? Saying I don't know what that means. Yeah. Well, I mean, like just kind of like I feel like I like what you're saying that you feel like it's you just don't see it. You're right. I feel like you don't want to see it. You want to rationalize it right away. But you just have to at least kind of like just nudge yourself a little bit to at least want to
well,
see
you
it.
see, yeah, I wouldn't say it's entirely that. It's here's the way I see it. There's multiple facets, or rather phases to it. It's like I don't typically like using the term like a part of me because I think it's entirely me, but I still feel like it's different facets, a part of the same whole. But it's like there is the rationalizing process that I do go through. And then there's also the concern of uh, there's a concern with, okay, what if I were to abandon the rationalization and try to exist in some other way? Like, how would that? It's not even a question like how would it work. It's like is that good or not
Mhm.
to do that? And yet, I also have a sense that that's where I would find my greatest power is doing
Yeah.
that.
But like why do you think that? Is that like intuition
I,
or
I don't know why
it's
I think that.
intuition?
It's just a
You have to
sense
train
that
yourself to listen to your intuition.
teach me, Mr. Miyagi.
I I told you it's the first thought that you have. The second thought can always be doubt, can always be anxiety. The first thought is your soul. The second part is your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you see something right and you make a subjective statement or a judgment or you think this is how I should act right, and then the other part that's your soul. You know it. The soul knows, and then the brain is like no, I shouldn't do that, that's not how it is. And it could be anything. The second voice could be absolutely anything, but the first voice is always it's usually it's I believe that it's 100% correct, but some people find that like they get intimidated when I say that.
I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but do you ever have the worry that at like a soul level, maybe something's latched on parasitically, and so it's feeding you bad information?
Ah, shit. um I mean, I would tell you that um you have to let go of bad stuff that's happened in your life, and just let go of all the traumas and stuff. Yes, that's that. I personally have never felt that, but people can have overlays, people can have energetic attachments, entities attachment because they like the energy of the person and want to keep them there. I'm I mean, if I felt things like, oh, I want to change myself, but then I
Mhm.
feel like this, like I can't really describe it because you might think it's weird, but things actually trying to bring the energy level down so that I don't change because they feed off the energy. So I've never felt that way, but I know someone who has. My ex felt that way. So
Mhm.
that they would try to trick him. And it's because you probably have a lot of light, but they want to surround you with darkness. That's how it happens. That's just my opinion. It's my theory.
Trying to
Um,
find something that I wrote down.
he was an indigo. Do you know what that is?
I can't say that I'm not even going to say that I'm not into that. It's just like I don't know anything about it. I'll just put it that way.
He's really like a soul that is an old soul, and their aura is kind of purple. Um, but he was like that. He's very telepathic and psychic, and his third eye. I mean, I think personally, it's like someone who's an indigo has like their third eye open at birth. Um, and that was him, but he had so much shit happen in his life that he actually closed his third eye. Um, he became consumed by the darkness, and he would like when I was with him, he said that like and then when he tried to get out of it, he tried to get out of the darkness. They like he felt like things were trying to corrupt him. But he closed his third eye, and he's really religious, so he'll never get it back. But I do feel like they try to do that to them.
It's really funny because it's like I get uneasy like when like what you're doing right now, like
Oh,
talking in that way symbolically. I get uneasy, not personally. I get uneasy because I guess I've been fearful of like talking in that way, but
yeah.
it seems like whenever people talk in that way, there's like a way that I understand it as being symbolic of
Oh,
something else.
but you're TINI, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so that makes sense because you want it to be completely technical and precise. You don't want it
Not
to.
well, no. I wouldn't say
No.
that. No. Um Somebody else becoming offended and being like, they're not that's not a thing, third eye's not, and then them like arguing and
You see,
whatnot.
that's also sort of metaphysically, someone could say that is an energy attachment. Because if you are constantly have that voice in your head, it's draining your energy and you're not being authentic to yourself,
Yeah.
right? And you have to trust yourself that if a person, and it's not all your anxiety is going to say that, then you have to like trust that you can defend yourself. It's a theory at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So
I guess what I'm saying when I'm at my most comfortable, like listening to what you say, like I'm at my most comfortable when I can push that voice to the side and not worry about how it sounds and just roll with the symbolism.
can you repeat that?
So like when fucking roll can yeah. No, I was just bringing it up because I was just pointing something out as to how my head works. Like I get worried like when you started talking about the third eye stuff because
Yeah, it's weird.
uh,
It's far off. It's
right
also
it's
it's
yeah
kind of like a brainwashing that society does. Because it's like you've already been subconsciously brainwashed to think that as I'm speaking and expressing myself in that way, that it's weird. Like no one should be saying that. But that's all you've been. It's brainwashing. It's subconscious brainwashing. No one has told you that. But yet, I sort of like what is it? NI or NE or whatever has made it, or FI. I mean, actually, FI. The group thing has made it so that you think that way, but no one's told you that. And
mhm.
so I think that's what it is. Yeah, but I mean, I think I kind of meant the third eye and sort of like the pineal gland, sort of what you see things in your mind's eye when you imagine things. Yeah, I should have been specific.
Yeah. As Jacob said, then just roll with it. Because I can sound like far out with shit. Like if I'm speaking, what I would consider my native language, it's all just like like the marbles thing. It's like I'd prefer not even to explain that at all. I'd rather just talk in symbolism and not try to qualify it because I think it would
Yeah.
actually express what it is that I'm trying to talk about.
Well, I get what you're saying because it's weird and it's kind of abstract, but
But
sometimes it's
that
just
doesn't. I would say at my deepest level that doesn't bother me, or at my most instinctual level, being abstract is not a negative consideration.
oh, so you feel like in a group setting you kind of feel a little bit nervous or
Yeah, I feel a bit nervous because I don't know how other people are going to take it, and I
no, I
worry.
felt nervous too.
Mhm,
I felt like it was just like it was weird.
mhm.
That's
But
just the subconscious programming.
so like,
Or we're psychic and we know that it actually will happen.
nah, I mean, as far as actual outcomes go, I don't know. I guess I have a perhaps you could call it a more of a compartmentalized, despite having a more unified view of things or how I see things is with a unified lens. I still find it very easy to compartmentalize um, how I go about uh, seeing those things. Like when I communicate them in speech, I compartmentalize them for ease of
Oh yeah,
like
I get that.
conversating. It's
I
like
mean,
it's
yeah,
it's to make it easier to put it into verbal language.
yeah.
Um, which is why I deal a lot in those sort of paradoxes of like I'll say one thing to which you might say is like the opposite of that not true because you're saying that is true and I'm saying no not necessarily it's because it's like because I'm speaking more symbolically it's like it's not whatever the thing is that I'm talking about may not be bound by what that thing is bound by as other people think of it it's like so yeah I'm trying to communicate something I'm trying to communicate. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Trying to communicate, to compartmentalize, take out the appropriate words and tools to fit us certain types of groups and settings. Um, but as an INFJ, I assume or presume that you're like really into spiritual stuff.
Yeah, I'd say rather than I'm into spiritual stuff in like a because this is the way I'm reasoning through it. It's like I can be into it sometimes rationally. I'll push against it, but I would say that when something happens just as a quick occurrence that could possibly have a um, like a spiritual overtone or like what might somebody might describe as like a spiritual thing, I find myself reacting pretty accepting of it immediately.
Hmm.
Like I remember I was fucking I've told the story before, but I think it was before you ever came around here. Um, back when I was still a Christian a couple of years ago, um, there was this I was like at this basically like prayer circle sort of thing. There was this lady there, and I had prayed probably for like the week prior to that, asking God to blow my mind. And I didn't tell anybody about that. And I was at this prayer meeting, and she just like looks at me. She's like, do the words blow my mind mean anything to you?"
Who?
And I was
Wait.
like, "Yeah."
Oh
And she was
shit.
like, "Yeah." No, she was just like, "Yeah, God says He's gonna blow your mind." I was like, "Okay," but it was like, what the reason why I brought that up is because my immediate reaction to her saying that, I wasn't even like, "Yeah," like pensively. She said the words, "Do the words blow my mind mean anything to you?" And I immediately started grinning. Like that was my immediate reaction to it. It wasn't like it wasn't worry. It was just fuck yeah.
Hmm. I don't like her. I don't know why.
She was cool.
She was cool.
She also looked like she was like 30, but her kid was 28.
Is she like, was she sort of psychic slash like she could divine things? Like she was very, very religious.
Well, I mean, she was. I only talked to her for a little bit, but no, she was spent a little bit of time talking about that, and then the rest of the time, her and her husband were talking about either deep frying turkeys or getting granite put into their kitchen.
So it was a
So,
prayer circle, you mean?
yeah, like they were. I mean, they weren't talking about that in the prayer circle, but basically what I'm saying is that they seemed normal. That they weren't like off-putting in any way.
Okay.
They were just sort of like chill people. I like her. Like I don't like her.
Yeah, I don't like her. I don't know. That's weird. But then again,
But that's the thing. I didn't think it was weird. Like even though like to a lot of people like that sort of thing, they're like, that's
I
weird.
feel like if she's in a position of power and she says that thing, I would just immediately be like, just no, I don't like you, because those people, some of them are really it's like when they're high in power, these religious people, they kind of take advantage of their power, and their
Yeah,
intuitive
but
powers as well.
she wasn't in a position of power.
I see.
Like it wasn't her thing. It was at somebody else's house.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, it wasn't like she was trying to recruit me for anything. It was like just like I met her once.
So have you always been interested in like spiritual stuff?
What was that?
Have you always been interested in spiritual things?
I don't quite know how to answer that because I was raised with it.
Ah, okay.
But I was pretty accepting of it. In fact, I didn't really start rationalizing the conception that that kind of stuff didn't exist until I was into my teens, pretty much. And I think more so now, over the span of time, it's been more like, uh,
I'm
like
gonna send you a
I've
link to something.
okay.
Um, you meditate, or do you meditate at least like sometimes?
No, I don't really meditate.
Okay.
I try to.
You should maybe like buy some sage and sage your house.
I don't know why I chuckle at stuff like that with like the sage and whatnot. I guess I don't understand the physical aspect. Like when people start talking about like burning chemicals or whatnot, or like burning
Well,
sage. Like
okay.
I don't get the fit. Like to me, it's the compartmentalized thing I was talking about. It's like there's something unifying in my mind. There's something unifying all these different aspects of the universe together, but they don't necessarily have to have
Yeah,
direct
you gotta stop doing that. Yeah, well, you know what? Those profound answers, like take years to know. They don't just take like, oh, I have 1 year of this spiritual experience. Like I think I've been quote unquote on like a spiritual journey for about 7 years, and just now do I think I'm starting to glean the answer to that. Right? And it's hours and hours of my time researching these things.
hmm
So if you really want to know the answer, you're gonna have to. It's gonna take a while. Right, and everyone comes to their own conclusion, and it can be different but the same in a sense.
Can you repeat what you just said? It just sort of slipped from my brain.
um like if you want to know the answer to that question of why people use sage or sort of that component, you're gonna have to spend hours or dedicating your attention to that answer so that you can come at it, but it's not gonna come overnight. And you might also not be at that stage where you necessarily are ready for the answer
hmm
or how it's connected to the big picture.
Right.
um,
Give me just a second. I'm back.
Yeah, so I posted a link to one of my favorite channels. Um, and then the other link is you might want to try that one. Maybe like 3 days in a row. See if you feel any different. I felt that they work actually. Um, it's this person who makes I don't even want to say it because it sounds so weird.
It's kind of what I hate. Is it's like it seems like communication is sometimes reserved for the rational.
Yeah, that works too. I believe in binaural
Oh,
beats.
I'm channeling my inner kestrel here and saying, of course, there's 33 in the
What?
number
There's
there.
what 33?
The healing code for removal of parasites. It's a Masonic number.
Actually, wait, where's 33? I don't even see it. Oh, in the code. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? 33 is they I mean like the freaking Freemasons use it for their own thing. But in my opinion, 33 is a good number. 33 actually is a healing code. A master number. You just stare at it. Are you staring at it?
Yeah.
I'll stare at it with you. You have to like just
If I get malaria, I'm suing you. You just supposed to do it for the whole 6 minutes?
I was watching it. I don't really need it today.
I'm just asking because I'll stare at it, but
You gotta stare at it. You have to feel it. Even if you don't feel anything. Is it weird that I can feel what they're actually doing? No, you don't even have to feel anything. You just keep doing it.
All right, I finished.
Yeah, so that's something that helped me one time. I sort of sent it to you because of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
Yeah, you
oh,
said that to
well,
listen to Alan once.
yeah. Mm. That's sort of the problem with our collective consciousness. We believe that we don't know how to interpret our imagination. Um, it's sort of these like psychic moments. We have to like figure it out for the benefit, maybe. Also, imagining that there's an apple and actually looking at an apple lights up the same parts of the brain, so you actually don't know the difference. So it's like what's real and what's not. It's very complicated, but also not really.
Sorry, I'm splitting my attention because I'm talking with somebody on Facebook. That was nice to stare at something for a while. I typically like what I might consider meditation when it's more like I'm focusing on something. Like I don't like it when it's like I close my eyes and I just sit there because I like that whole thing people talk about of like letting go of your thoughts and like straightening your back. I'm like, this is fucking grueling. I hate this.
No, I find meditation helpful when I'm waking up, when I can't, when I have like too many thoughts
Right.
all at once. It's the best time to meditate.
Yeah. Do you think it like settles things?
Huh?
Do you think it like settles things?
Well, the thing is like if the thing is like if you let all your thoughts and feelings overwhelm you, like you get stuck on them and then you start to feed them and then they become little monsters and then they want your attention. And like if you learn how to make it so that you just you pay attention, you tell yourself, oh, I'll pay attention to that thought later, they don't overwhelm you.
See, my I don't know what has occurred in my life, but it seems like the rationalizations have so many layers that it's like if I would be like, "Oh, I'll pay attention to that later," I would hear a voice in my head like, "I'll pay attention to that later." Like, basically, like my brain would treat it like a cop out. Like, oh, you're trying to pay attention to it later.
Yeah, because you brainwash yourself to believe like you have the sort of like program that says that if you don't do it now, then you're just being a lazy fuck, or you're lying to yourself. But what if the thought goes and you let it go and it never comes back? Then it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
I feel like I might be adding to your existential thing.
No, some of it's helpful. Um, I guess I'm just more focused on the stuff that's been going on for the past few days. I'm like just trying to understand. Like I want understanding because I want to know what choices to make, and I don't want to. I don't really like the sort of the more mocking YOLO mentality of where you just sort of make decisions because fuck it. Um,
Hmm.
like I've talked before about I've said like I think I might try welding, and sometimes in sentences I've said it like because I might as well try something, but I don't like that sentence. I might as well try something because I don't want to just try something. I want to like I don't mind endeavoring in something new, but I want to know that it's developing towards the path in some way. But I suppose I wouldn't know exactly what leads to the path.
Hmm.
So this thing is when it comes to following intuition, I don't necessarily mind walking in the dark until I find illumination, but I'm more mistrusting of my ability to intuit, is sort of how I would put it.
Yes, because I want to say, I don't know, I don't want to say anything sexist, but I do think, um, I think women are more like, because we're more emotional, right? Just then we kind of we've learned over the years to hear our emotions and our intuition and know exactly what it is. But men have a little bit harder time doing that. Um, which kind of sucks, to be honest. I hate that. That's fucking sucks. Yeah, you can't rationalize everything. You're gonna go crazy like that.
but
No, you can't.
but I wanna.
No, you can't. Don't try to do.
But
No, it's a challenge that you cannot win. Like seriously, you can't rationalize everything.
I've
And and if you do, like, tell the physicist.
yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
But it is amazing to me how like even right now it's like I'm having feelings inside of me that are like almost like it's not really anxious, like it's a mixture of anxiety and frustration because I'm wanting
But
like
why?
I'm
Why do
wanting
you feel
answer
like?
I'm wanting answers
But
to
why do you?
shit. I don't
But why do you feel like you need an answer?
um I don't I
Does
don't
it
know
feel?
because I don't want to be stuck in the hell of repeating things
Why do you feel like you'll have to repeat them?
because I feel like I lack understanding.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, like you can when you make a mistake, right? You'll know that it's a mistake, and then you won't do that thing again. You just do it step by step, stone by stone. You don't have to know the whole big shebang. Like that's how we live life.
Yeah. Uh yeah. No, I agree with you. Um
But you want to know.
well no, it's not necessarily that too. That there's also a worry that I noticed I developed earlier in my life, which is that if I don't do things the quote unquote right way or the
Ah,
quote good way, that I'll be punished for it in some way. So I've tried to heavily rationalize things, and the whole concept of sort of living in an intuitive way seems, for lack of a better term, I've rationalized it as potentially immoral.
oh, that's oh, and you grew up religious, right?
Yeah,
That makes sense, actually.
and
It
so
makes
yeah,
so much sense considering the fact that no, we can't know because intuition is always right. So you can't really know by using intuition because that's against God or
Mhm.
so that makes complete sense. I understand. I don't know if you'll be happy that way, so maybe you want to consider that as a way to bring yourself out of that.
I got distracted again by the Facebook thing, which I know I should. Well, I don't know if I should feel bad about that. I'm considering. Hold on, Facebook. Hey,
Yo, Stacy,
what's up?
what's up?
To do what for me, Liz?
I think she's an ESTP.
What, Liz? Nah.
Oh, Saint, what's INFP's?
ES,
INFP, the dual of Mercury.
ESTJ.
Oh, ESTJ. That sounds so disgusting. To make
Yeah,
me do stuff. Yo,
I
I
mean,
need an ESTJ. Hook me up, people. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm lazy
Like
as
when you
fuck.
think about your duel at first, it's just like, ew.
No,
But then
oh
apparently it
man,
actually
Saint.
works.
Whoa, Saint. Whoa. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not offended. Yeah, I think I saw a video of an ESTJ, and someone mentioned here in the chat like what their avatar picture would be a shovel, and I was just LOLing.
I watched this one ESTJ dude, and he was talking about how he's really into INFP chicks, but at the same time, he was like, not just any INFP chicks, bipolar ones that kind of have like a possibly strong depression going on.
Oh fuck!
It's because he likes feeling like he's saving them.
Oh my god!
Hello.
Hi, Susie.
I think for the ESTP thing, it's like you were talking about like that ill feeling or whatever. I don't think it's been so much ill. It's just like I see certain like archetypes of like how people act, and like more
No, we
specifically
like
with
their window.
like more specifically with women, it's like I'm understanding better now that what you see on the surface doesn't necessarily correlate with what their needs are internally.
Hmm.
So that's been one hurdle to get over. It's because I just figured like when you see women that act in a more like SE way, that's pretty much what they were looking like. In dudes, like I just didn't imagine that they were for the most part looking for more of the same, like more of them.
I feel like the dual thing sort of balances you out, makes you into a better person, maybe. I feel like I would need someone to make me do stuff. Yes, TJs. Is that TV Dom? I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's hot. For sure.
I have a good childhood friend who is ESTJ. He's cool.
This is like, oh, you're an ISTP, that's cool, and we start dropping some knowledge bombs, and she's like, oh, that's hot.
What? You talking to an ISTP?
And she said in the chat, intelligent ISTPs is where it's fucking at.
I mean, my ISTP friend is fucking scum, but I love him. I guess he's pretty smart, but he's been doing heavy drugs since he was like a kid, so he's kind of out there. Kinda. I mean, he's been on Adderall meds since he was really young too. So like, he just turned into a total speed freak and got burned out, and now he smokes like a chimney, and he's high like all the time. I love him to death, though. He helps me appreciate the little things. No, he's way less annoying than he used to be. He used to be hyper as fuck.
I haven't talked to Eric yet, but I'm gonna talk to him soon, Les. Was it room 1? Do you remember? Room 2.
Annie. I just read. I think all famous CSTJs are reptilians. So now it's revealed, Annie. She really just wants a strong reptilian man. Yeah, Ivanka's not ESTJ. Nine T pi. Do you like World Socionics Society's typing of stuff, Liz? Or do you? Okay. I like how they put. I like how they put Grigory Rasputin, Edgar Allan Poe, Nietzsche, and Karl Marx all on the IEI list. I was like, IEI list is getting edgy as fuck. Right, I know. Just the entirety of Beta Quadra, I'm like, things are getting a little hardcore in here. Chico Rivera's Beta, right? CEIE? Or yeah. They're famous for a reason. I love that picture of the dude like laughing, and it says Beta Quadra. They hate us because they ain't us.
I love how like 16-year-old hipsters idolize Che Guevara and have like no idea who he is. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, I mean, the political board on 4chan does that with Hitler.
Yeah, except they know exactly who he is and what he did. And it's mostly ironic.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, Hitler is very well known. Like, they teach you about him in history class like 5 or 6 times, whereas Che Guevara is just like, oh, yo, he was like some really cool revolutionary guy, right? And that's like about the extent of what they know.
Sometimes when Liz talks, I can hear echoes of Hitler. And what's the lesson we can learn there, fellow EIE? No, I'm talking to Liz.